Definitely. All right. So, hey, with that being off season still going in, we had the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw it, Let's Talk Football did a draft show next year for the Broncos. We're gonna need a pick from Miss Tina Winter. We're gonna need to have you on here to talk about this because you know your stuff. I'm
Okay,
excited.
I'll use a helpline to my guys that actually know the draft.
Hey, we all do it too, so don't even worry. Hey,
Yeah.
let's go. But look, getting into
yeah.
the draft, you seen it. I'll bring it up who you guys have and kind of run over it quickly. But I mean, just talk to me about what you feel. Nick Bonito, Greg Dulcich, Damari Mathis, Iowa State's defensive lineman, Delara Turner, Montrell Washington, Luke, I think it said Wattenberg, Matt Hennessing, and Fayon Hicks. Corner, a number of picks. Now, because of the trade between y'all and Seattle for Russell Wilson, obviously you didn't have your first rounders. You didn't have your second. Like, you didn't get a pick until, late second round?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, you started late, but, I mean, from what it looks like, y'all still did fairly well in the draft. What are your thoughts?
George Payton is a god.
Yeah.
I mean,
he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. It was interesting. Nick Bonito is also a local guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a huge bump up. One of my guy friends my guy friend Gavin has nicknamed him Mr. Beautiful.
Oh, there you go.
He, like I said, he's being brought in for the pass rush. He's being brought in to kind of create some more sack opportunities and being able to get to the quarterback. And based on his stats, let's see, he had 18 and a half sacks last year as an edge rusher. So, I mean, and that's just his senior year. So who knows what it would be if I had a little more time. Let's see. Oh, here, another stat I picked up. He has a 27% win rate ratio, which was the highest of all college pass rushers last year.
Man. Okay.
So I don't know why other teams passed on him.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful they did.
Yeah, I that is somebody that me and my buddy Will, we do a Washington show, that's somebody we had on our list. Every time we did like any mock drafts, every time he came up, we were like, we have to get this guy. They talk about his first step. He has one of those quickest first steps off the ball, and he's a very versatile player. He can drop back in coverage, and he has the quickness to spy a quarterback, which, as we know, the league is becoming more, mobile quarterback. So you need to have somebody that can keep up with the quarterback. And then when you have the Randy Gregory, the Chubb, these other guys, the guy we just talked about, DJ Jones, you have these guys and you let this young guy work in behind them or work with them. Ooh.
Yeah. He reminds me of a young Vaughn.
Yeah.
He really does. The way he kind of moves and how quick he is.
Okay.
That's the one thing, like, there's some video of Vaughn that he like puts one foot forward and he's already halfway past him and flipping around him. So if he's half the player that Vaughn was,
that's high praise.
Yeah, that's high praise. I mean, Vaughn is big in our fandom, but
absolutely. Absolutely. But then, so we also talk about the trade where you lost Noah Fant, but I think y'all did a great job getting a potential replacement. Greg Dulcich, tight end, UCLA, big tight end, great hands, great take the top off the defense kind of speed. I heard that it's reminiscent of Kelce, Travis Kelce. And I watched UCLA a lot, so I've seen him play. He was at sometimes one of their better, if not best, wide receivers at tight end. So I'm very excited to see what this guy does. What are your thoughts on Dulcich?
Or as I call him, Luscious George. How can you not with that hair?
Right.
All kidding aside. I mean, the one thing I am going to want to see is how he does with blocking.
Yeah.
Because the the tight ends are going to have to block. It's not just getting down the field. Now, that being also said, because he can get down the field and he is fast, he is a Fant type tight end / like Kelsey.
Yep.
Russell can throw to him. Russell can throw 20, 30 yards and break a tackle or break through. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what he can do too, because we did lose Fant in that trade, along with Locke and also Harris, which I want to go back to.
Okay.
But I'm excited to see what he can do. As a matter of fact, one of the guys that I'm friends with was like, this is one of the best trades ever. He's better than Fant. I'm like, well, let's see what happens. But
right. Can he play it down first? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he's going to be competing against Albert Obuejianon.
There you go.
It's a hard name to say.
Right. Better than I would have done.
Albert O. Albert's going to be number one. It's going to be his job to lose.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of Greg is one of the top tight ends in the draft class. So he has a chance to really do something, and I hope he does. And so I was trying to see like if I had any notes in here, but I don't.
Right. I'm like looking like, wait a minute.
Wait, did I put anything down here? No. Yeah. But some of the people that follow him think he could be on the all rookie team.
Okay.
Because the only other, I can't remember the guy's name, but the only other tight end is down in, I think it's Arizona. And if he's behind the guy that's in Arizona, he's not going to get a lot of
Ertz. Yeah, because Ertz is over there.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it is him. I just don't remember the guy's name.
And then I know there's one other guy, Charlie Kohler at Iowa State, who's playing for the Ravens, but he's behind Mark Andrews. So he's also not getting any time. So I absolutely believe that Jules, if you stay healthy and he gets a rapport with Russell Wilson, that's what every quarterback, especially in a new system, loves. They go right to their running backs, right to their tight ends.
Right.
So
it's your bread and butter. You can use them because they're bigger. And if he does end up being a Kelsey or Gronk type tight end, yes. I mean, I won't say the number of words I've talked about watching Gronk.
Oh,
and our people crawling up him and literally being like getting rid of him. So So if he turns out great, I'm high on him. A lot of people in the Broncos are, and I'm hearing the coaches, the offensive coordinators, are very high on him too.
Oh, I can dig it. Dig it. Now, there are many more on this draft. Tell me some of the people that you thought about. I know you were telling me maybe Damari Mathis, the safety out of Pittsburgh.
The safety position, safety/cornerback position, was something that we were a little weak on, except for Patrick Surtain. Yeah, that was a good pickup. And we need some new blood in there to go along with Justin Simmons and some of the other guys that are that will be back. And like, I'm totally losing my mind. I can't remember the other guy that we got from Texas. He's still going to be there. We've got quite a few, but that was also a position that got hit with injuries early and often. So the Damari Mathis, hey, if he does half of what Surtain does, I'll be so happy.
Right. Get in where you fit in.
I don't know what, like, he had something in his brain that he just knew where to be and when to be there, no matter what. So.
And him being the son of an NFL player, I think there's a certain level of knowledge that they know. They know how to maneuver in the locker rooms. They know how to play. They know which refs are going to call what things, and it's kind of a feel. And Surtain, because as soon as he came in the league, it was like he knew what he was doing immediately. Like first year, he was dominating, and you're like, "How have you played before? Like, have you played in the NFL like before?" Yeah. But he is that type of talent. And hey, Damari Mathis, you're coming into that secondary. We've already seen what the D line and kind of front seven is looking like. It could be a great addition. Hopefully, I mean, Pittsburgh had a solid defense last year, so hopefully he definitely shows up for you guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And who else were you talking? There was somebody else.
The punt returner that we drafted, Montrell Washington.
That's huge. Yep.
Special teams was horrible for us. For the coach to the players. Now, don't get me wrong. Spencer, who we were brought in, he was very good. He was decent for what he needed to do, but we need a little bit more there. We need a little bit of a spark. And so it's not often you draft a punt returner, but that was the one that a lot of the people that I was talking to, they were most interested in to see what he does, because we can only go up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, hey, and playing at Penn State, hopefully this guy has something in the Big Ten. Eager to see he can only help, and definitely at that punt returner position, that's somewhere that can totally change the game for if not for just anything, but just field position. But
field position alone, not having to start at the 10 and the 20 every time you get the ball, being able to maybe be at the 30 or the 40 or even at the 50 if you get one. Because I mean, breaking one open for a touchdown is, you got to have like a perfect storm of situations.
Exactly.
Like or really special punt returners, which we know who those are. But yeah, it don't get me started on I could go for an hour at least talking about why special teams is so bad in this current NFL structure.
Yeah. As somebody that played a little kick returner, punt returner, and understand the value of it, look, I understand we're not going to have a Devin Hester. You know, those don't grow on trees. You know what I mean? The Brian Mitchells, the Mel Gray, the guys that are the specialists. But, I mean, it's almost a lost art now.
It is. It's just well, as a whole, I think special teams is a lost art.
Yeah.
There's no longer a coach that's just the special teams coach.
Yeah.
He has another job that he's doing, and he's a coordinator in some kind of the offense. They generally don't have specific linebackers for special teams like they used to, or special teams used to be the way you talked about Terrell Davis. Special teams used to be the way that you could get off the practice squad. And running backs would be doing that kind of stuff. It's just kind of a lost art because they cut the number of people you can have, and money wise, you're not going to spend a lot of money on extra players that are only going to be there, except your long snapper.
Right.
That's the only one that stays.
You need a good kicker. We went through a couple last year. Our punt returner, Brandon McManus. I love that man. And he's our kicker too, but we brought in a punt returner. And so it is kind of a lost art, but I think there's parts to say for bringing it back. So that's it's necessary. It's that way. Yeah. The Green Bay Packers definitely know that it's necessary to have special teams. We saw how poorly theirs played in their playoff game a year ago.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.